Hi everybody, I'm going to explain how to create your infographic poster for the second part of this project. So on the climate change project, digital instructions or instructions depending on which one you have a rubric and checklist. So this is how you are being graded. So I suggest using this as a checklist as you are going through and creating your poster to make sure you don't miss any of the important pieces of information that you need to have on your poster. So everything is listed right here for you. It tells you all your point values, and that is something that I want you to follow as you create your infographic. So I'm going to switch over to this infographic example PowerPoint that I came up with. So these are examples of climate change infographics that you can find online. Basically, an infographic is a scientific poster with scientific facts. They use data. They use tables or graphs to kind of show their points. It's colorful. A lot of the headings kind of stick out for you. So this is just an example of one that I found on Google. Here's another one. So again, you can see the climate risk versus the global warming, and they have their different headings of all their facts. And you can see how they did kind of on this one like a versus. So climate risk versus global warming. So what's the difference? And they kind of showed it. They illustrated it. They have some polar bears down here and that kind of thing. They have weather and the sun, showing all the examples. All right, so this one is climate change in the environment. Again, they have their facts. They have pieces of text that kind of pop off the page, whether they be in different fonts or bigger fonts. They have some clip art examples. This is the ocean. They wrote it so that if it was a darker background, the text was a lighter color versus a lighter background with a darker colored text. That's something that's important. This infographic was kind of showing the percent of people who notice changes in the climate and what those changes were. And you can see how they have a table here. They have a key for what the table means, and their percentages and their facts are in their infographic. Again, how climate change can impact the world. They have their headings that are a little bit bigger. They have pictures and graphics. Their text is darker for the lighter color background, lighter backgrounds, and darker colored text. This is an example of one that you can find on the website Canva, which is what we're going to be using. If I zoom in on it, you can kind of see how it has some graphics here, the lowdown on climate change. It gives the facts. Okay. Your infographics, you need to make sure have a table or a graph included. So here are the instructions for Canva. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see. You're going to go to canva.com, set up an account using your school email address. So sign in with Google, your Barnegat school email address. When you get to Canva, you're going to click infographic, which is the type of poster you are making. And then there's going to be a whole bunch of templates on the left-hand side of the menu for you guys to select from. The information really doesn't matter that's inside the template. You'll be adding your own information, your own facts, your own pictures. You can go based on the templates, just based on the colors and the fonts that are there if you like them. Once you pick your template, you're going to click on the top blue bar to change untitled design to climate, period 1, 2, 3, whatever your period is for science, and then your names. That can just be your first names, that's fine. Then you are going to click the share button at the top, and you're going to share with your partner if you have a partner, if you're doing this digitally. The most important person to share this with if you're doing it digitally is me. So you're going to type in ndanzer@barnegatschools.com. Remember, there's no C in my last name. It is an S. And you're going to share it to me. That way I have access to your document as you're working. That's something that I want you to do before you start typing in your facts. Then you're going to use the tools on the left side of the page to add images, change headings, text boxes, etc. Once you think you're done with your poster, make sure you check back to your rubric to make sure all the information is included. So right now I'm going to go to Canva to show you what it is and how it works. So canva.com, you're going to sign in. It's going to sign me in automatically. All right, so this is the screen you get once you sign in. You can click Create Design. My suggestion is to click on infographics so you know that's the templates that they're giving you to choose from. So click on infographic, and it's going to automatically give you a blank design. So remember, this is a poster making website. So this is kind of like a PowerPoint slide. It's just much smaller, but it will print out to be a poster. Down here at the bottom is a zoom button. Use this to help you zoom in and out so you can work on your poster. So this is a blank template. You can, of course, start with a blank template. That is fine. But they actually give you a whole bunch of templates here for you to choose from. So based on, your colors or what you want it to look like, you can choose any of these templates here. They're all editable. You just have to delete the information that doesn't pertain to our climate project. And that's it. You're selecting one of these. So there's a bunch to choose from. I want you and your partner to kind of make sure you agree on one. But in the instructions, the first thing it said to do was to change the title to Climate Period 1. If this is my Period 1 class, and then my name. Okay. You're going to click the Share button. So if you're working with a partner on this, you just are going to type in their email address. So let's say I was working with Mrs. Ianzelli. BarnegateSchools.com. Okay. Test. Sure. Okay, and then you click send, and then it's going to send an invitation to the person's email address. Remember, if you're emailing a student, it's their first name dash their last name at BarnegateSchools.com. If you're emailing me, I'm just going to type my email right here for you guys. ndanzer with an S at BarnegateSchools.com, so that I get a copy of your project. So this is a test one, so I'm just going to send this to Mrs. Ianzelli. So you can see once it sends. Right, then it'll say pending invitation. And then when your partner logs into their account, they're going to see that they have a pending invitation to work on the poster with you. So one person has to create it, and then they share it to the other person for them to both have access. You're going to also share it to me. All right, so one thing I do want to point out is they have a few templates on climate change posters already. My suggestion is to steer clear of these because you're going to be putting your own information in. And I'm going to show you also how to find all these graphics that they have for these posters. So, I think there's 3 on climate change that are here. So do not use those ones. If you like how they're laid out, you can use them. But if you, want to pick a different layout, that's fine. So let me just see. Let's say I pick this one as my template. You can see everything is editable. You can type whatever you want in here. I would suggest editing a lot of information. You don't want to leave anything that was from the previous template. Of course, you can change the fonts, the size, the color, whether it's bold or italics, whether it's centered. There's also some effect fonts that you guys can do. So get kind of creative in there. I want to see what you guys can do. Once you have like the gist of your poster kind of written out, you have your facts, you found your graph, you have your headings and your title or slogan, then you can really start designing it. So there's a few things that you can do. Photos. So let's say I wanted to use photos of the earth. Okay, you can see Mrs. Ianzilli just popped into the document. That means she accepted the information and that she's able to type. So let's see. I want to use this photo and put it as my background. It automatically kind of moves your text in front, which is important. Mrs. Dancer. Okay. You can see that this text kind of doesn't go with the background. You can't really see what it says, but you can move it all around here. Okay. Pictures, elements. I thought this was really cool. They have a whole bunch of different stickers and designs and charts and grids and symbols and drawings, things for you to choose from that could represent something that you would like to put on your poster. So again, you just have to explore what they have. They have a ton of stuff. Text. Okay, you can add a heading. Remember, we said that you have to have headings per section of your poster. So if you're talking about fossil fuels, for example, you'll pick a heading, add it to your poster. So let's delete this. Let's delete this. Let's click add a heading. Fossil fuels. All right, and I want this to kind of fit in that blue box. All right, and something important also is just be mindful of your text colors that you choose. So I wouldn't put a darker colored text with a dark background. I would use the opposite, like a lighter text with a lighter back or a darker background, darker text with a lighter background. Audio, video, you can find some different like movable objects here. Background pictures, so I can change the entire background of this poster, not including the text boxes here. So it's very user-friendly. You just have to play around. It has a ton of built-in features that you can explore. And again, like I said, it works with you and your partner. So you guys can both be on a computer. You can both be working. When you are done with your poster and you've created the entire thing, you want to make sure it's shared to me. You can also download a copy of your poster here to like PDF. All right. If I have access to it, which would be what I've asked you to do, that's fine. But if you want to download it, you can try to email it to me or upload it to Google Classroom to submit it. We'll figure that out when we get there. But for Thursday and Friday, it's really about taking what you wrote in the 421 summary sheet and laying it out in the poster format, making sure you have your 6 facts, making sure you found a graph. The graph you can find right from Google, so that's going to be related to your facts. So if you did a bunch of facts on fossil fuels, you may want to look for climate change fossil fuel graphs on Google. Find one that you like that's easy to read, and you're going to copy it, and you can paste it right into your poster. And then just make sure you know which website you got it from. So you just add a small little text box, kind of like that. And you would write that it was from so-and-so website, just so you're making sure you're citing where you got that important information from. Okay? So this is a little bit about Canva. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, but this is a pretty cool poster building website. Remember the zoom bar here at the bottom, you can zoom in and out. And then you could see when you're working with your partner if you have somebody. Okay, thanks for listening. Email me with any questions you might have.